Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. I think I know who won the Golden Bachelor Season 2 and I don't like it. After watching the Golden Bachelor Season 2 Episode 3, I believe there's a clear frontrunner for Mel Owen's heart, but if he chooses this woman in the end, it'll only confirm everything that he said in the podcast, and that's a problem. Mel, a 66-year-old NFL player turned lawyer and divorced dad of 2 sons, faced fierce backlash when he appeared on the In the Trenches podcast after he was cast as the Golden Bachelor. On the podcast, Mel stated that he only wanted to date women aged 45 to 60, and that he'd cut any women over 60 from his cast. In addition, he stated that he didn't want anyone with artificial hips or wigs in his cast. While Mel has the right to date whatever kind of woman he wants, fans immediately demanded that he be fired from the Golden Bachelor Season 2 because his demands didn't match the spirit of the show, which is for seniors to find love. Mel's cast was originally made up of 23 women, aged 58 to 77. He apologized to them on premiere night, and they even had the chance to roast him for his comments during Episode 3. Although it seems like water under the bridge for Mel and the women, the contestant who made the strongest connection with Mel is confirming that everything that he said in the podcast was true. If he chooses her, it will be problematic. The Golden Bachelor Season 2 contestant Eichel is a 64-year-old yoga instructor from Miami Beach, Florida. Mel had previously stated that he wanted someone who was fit, and Eichel certainly meets that criteria. During the pool party, Mel made out with Eichel in the middle of the pool in front of all of the women. This offended many of them, who felt that the public display of affection was inappropriate. The following day, Terry Aloni, a 71-year-old cosmetic dentist from Houston, Texas, confronted Eichel about dominating Mel's time. However, Eichel justified it by saying that she was sorry, but they were half naked in the pool and they kissed. Amy Kaplan defended her, stating that maybe she got caught up in the moment, which Eichel agreed with, but Terry told her that she thought it was disrespectful. In her confessional, Eichel stated that she was a little surprised by how prim and proper the women seemed to be, but she suspected that, like in other parts of her life, she'd be the pioneer there and they'd just follow. The childish drama among the women was disappointing to see, especially because the Golden Bachelor Season 1 barely had any conflict at all. Later, during the Golden Bachelor Season 2 Episode 3 roast, Mel chose Eichel to have dinner with him, where they bonded about their divorces. Eichel was married twice, but she told Mel that she no longer thinks of her 2 divorces as failures. Mel then opened up to Eichel about the story of his divorce, and they bonded about their breakups. They agreed that they had a connection and Eichel accepted his rose. In his confessional, Mel stated that the chemistry between them was good, and it couldn't be manufactured or fought. They shared several kisses. At the end of Episode 3, although Mel had made some strong connections with a few of the other women, it seemed clear that Eichel was at the top of his list. Although Mel apologized for his ageist comments, his choices during the Golden Bachelor Season 2 have confirmed that he still stands by them. He's now eliminated every contestant over age 70, including Terry 71, Diane Fermani 71, Lily Reeves 72, and Andrew Wicks 77. While one could argue that he didn't feel a connection with them, it's obvious that he hasn't had the chance to get to know any of the women well enough yet, especially Lily and Andra, who he sent home on night 1. Although many of the remaining women are younger than Eichel, and he even eliminated 58-year-old Maya Dyer, who was the youngest of all of the contestants on premiere night, Eichel looks and acts much younger than her age. While there's nothing particularly wrong with that in light of Mel's comments, the fact that he seems to be the most drawn to her reinforces all of his ageist comments. When Mel chose Eichel to have dinner after the roast, it seemed as though he was just humoring the other women during the group date because he intended to pick her the whole time. He was just going through the motions and didn't truly give the other women a chance. Many of their comedy routines were just as funny and witty as Eichel's, but he picked her. In addition, Mel and Eichel's immature behavior at the pool when they kissed in front of everyone proves that he's looking for someone with a younger mindset. Many of the women don't want to engage in public displays of affection with Mel, but he chose the one who did. I believe that Eichel will probably win the Golden Bachelor Season 2. She's a beautiful, confident older woman who should be proud of her accomplishments. However, if Mel chooses her based on his week 1 experiences before he really even knew her, then his apology about his ageist comments will seem like a lie because he obviously chose her due to her youthful demeanor and looks. While Mel and Eichel shouldn't deny their connection just to keep up appearances, their relationship proves that he wasn't honest about giving the older and or less active women a chance. If the Golden Bachelor Season 2 ends with Mel choosing Eichel, then fans will know that he meant every word that he said on the podcast. There's a certain thrill in watching The Golden Bachelor. The premise is tender yet unpredictable, older contestants searching for a second chance at love, navigating the messy intersection of heartbreak, vulnerability, and hope. When Season 1 aired, audiences were swept away by the sincerity of it all, even when the finale shocked us. Now Season 2 has tried to replicate that magic with Mel Owens at the center, a man whose charm, candor, and occasional missteps made him both adored and controversial. But here's the thing, after watching carefully, following the edits, the leaks, and the subtle cues in body language, I think I know who won the Golden Bachelor Season 2. And honestly, I don't like it. Not one bit. The clues are right there in the edit. If you've been a long-time member of Bachelor Nation, you know the producers have a very particular way of hiding the winner in plain sight. The person who gets the biggest drama arc? Usually not the winner. The one who fights the most with the house? Not the winner either. It's often the quiet choice, the one given just enough screen time to keep them relevant, but not so much that they dominate the narrative. This season, that person is Marjorie. She hasn't been in the spotlight the way Cheryl or Denise have been. She hasn't thrown champagne in a fit of jealousy, nor has she given the heart-wrenching, tearful confessionals. Instead, she's been calm. She's been there in the background with soft piano music playing every time she appears on screen. Mel lights up when she speaks, but it's in that subtle way the editors used to suggest endgame. And that's why I think she's the one holding the final rose. Sit right with me. Don't get me wrong, Marjorie is sweet. She's gentle, she's kind, and she has the sort of grandmotherly warmth that makes you want to share a blanket and tea with her. But she's not right for Mel. At least, not the way I see it. Mel has spent this entire season telling us he wants someone adventurous, someone who will travel with him, someone who can laugh at his bad jokes and challenge him when he falls into old habits. He's been drawn to boldness, Cheryl's playful sarcasm, Denise's fiery confidence, even Linda's ability to call him out when he fumbled his words. Marjorie, though, doesn't bring that spark. She's safe, comfortable, predictable. And maybe that's what bothers me most. The idea that Mel, after all this journey, chose comfort instead of passion. The other women deserved better. This season had some of the most dynamic women the franchise has ever cast. Cheryl Steele, for instance, became an instant fan favorite with her wit and charisma. Watching her dance barefoot in the rain with Mel was a highlight of the season. It felt authentic, it felt fun, it felt like love in motion. Then there was Denise, who opened up about rebuilding her life after loss. Her vulnerability was raw and her strength was inspiring. She wasn't afraid to show both her scars and her resilience. When Mel looked at her, you could see the admiration in his eyes. And Linda? Oh, Linda was a powerhouse. Independent, fiery, unapologetically herself. She was the one who brought real conversation to the table, forcing Mel to reflect on what he actually wanted out of a relationship. Any of them would have been a better match than Marjorie. But love, or at least reality TV's version of love, doesn't always follow logic. The problem with safe choices. Part of why I can't get on board with Mel's suspected choice is because it feels like a retreat. In life and in love, it's tempting to choose safety over the unknown. Safety feels easy. Safety doesn't require growth. But the greatest loves, the kind worth watching on TV and rooting for across time zones, are the ones that push people out of their comfort zones. By choosing Marjorie, it feels like Mel is choosing the quiet retirement version of love rather than the adventure-filled second chapter he claimed he wanted. It's as if the journey ended not with fireworks but with a soft sigh. Maybe that's romantic in its own way. Maybe some viewers will applaud the decision. But for me, it feels like a letdown. Bachelor Nation deserves a finale that thrills. We tune in for the romance, yes, but also for the unpredictability. We want the gasp-worthy finales, the love stories that feel epic, not just adequate. Last season's ending shocked us, and even if not everyone agreed with it, it made people feel. This season, the finale risks fizzling out with a whisper instead of roaring with passion. Imagine for a moment if Cheryl had been the final rose. The internet would explode with memes, TikToks, and love for her sparkling personality. Or if Denise had won, the heartfelt storytelling of a widow finding love again would have moved even the most cynical viewers. Instead, we might be left with Marjorie's sweet but subdued. A finale that feels less like a celebration and more like a compromise. Could I be wrong? Of course I could be. Maybe the edit is misleading me as it has misled fans countless times before. Maybe Cheryl, Denise, or Linda pulls out a last-minute twist and captures Mel's heart in the final episode. Maybe Marjorie's calmness hides a depth we haven't yet seen on screen. But my gut says otherwise. My gut says the producers have been slow-feeding us the winner all along, with those soft focus moments, the consistent but modest presence, the lack of drama. And my gut also says I don't like it.